Hello, fellow Worthy Watchers, and welcome to yet another week of Worthy Watchers Weekly, the weekly podcast where we go in depth on anything within the motion art medium, TVs, movies, animation, etc. It is all game here. Of course, I'm Anthony. I got my bro over here on the nope, it's mirrored. It's mirrored. I'm trying to do this right. Sorry, my camera's mirrored. I keep forgetting that. This is Ransom.
Hello.
And of course, we're continuing our series this week into Attack on Titan, our discussion series on that. And this is, of course, Humanity's Comeback Arc, episodes 3 and 4 for season 1. If you are unfamiliar with this series, welcome. This is where we kind of break down TV episodes, and specifically anime for this one, into 4-ish parts. There's the recap on what we watched. There's a discussion that I'm going to be asking Ransom some questions because, of course, you know, this is his first time watching, so that's always exciting. And then there's Worthy Watcher reviews, if we have any from you guys, so definitely leave them in here. I'll mention that more later. And then, of course, the finale, Weebin Time, which is just a fun little area where we ask some really silly questions. So without further ado, let's jump right into the recap. So if you have been watching these episodes with us, of course, you've covered a couple of things. We are going into spoilers, so if you haven't watched these episodes, go watch them real quick. So training boot camp for the military, it's like a quick explanation on how the military works, the different bodies of military, the MPs, the garrison, and the scout regiments, essentially. And then how their omnidirectional gear operates, which is very important going on ahead because I think one of the coolest things about this series is that it very much sticks to what they're allowed to do and what technology they have available to them. There's a shit ton of character introductions, like a shit ton. Like they drop everything within these 2 episodes on all of the main characters of pretty much the series. And then finally, the reveal of who graduated, of course, from the military academy with honors, right? The top 10. And then the return of the Colossal Titan, and assumedly the Armored Titan, who obviously breached the second to last wall of humanity, which is Wall Rose. And then, Eren thinks it's dope to attack the Colossal Titan all by himself at the very end. We're going to see what happens with that next episode. Ransom, let's move on to part 2 of the discussion. I got a couple questions here for you, and I'm very intrigued to hear what you want to say. And of course, once we get through these, if you have anything to add on your own, please feel free. Cool. What did you think of the introduction of Sasha Brahm and the infamous potato?
That shit cracks me up. I
Yeah,
love
they
it.
have to have something there, right? A little bit of levity.
Yeah. I love the fact that she's so maybe whimsical isn't the right word, but just like she's such an airhead as far as just being like this guy's yelling at me. Maybe he just wants some food as well. You know?
Yeah, maybe he's hangry.
Yeah.
No, it's so funny because the way she says it too. I decided to give this potato shelter in my stomach, sir.
Yeah.
One of the best lines I've ever heard for somebody who's likes to eat.
So good. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. The first of the 2 episodes in particular, obviously, like we just talked to right there about that silly Sasha Brown moment, are kind of all about character introductions and each of their respective quirks, we'll use the word, which characters stuck out to you from these 2 episodes? I'm very intrigued to hear what you have to say about this because I think these 2 episodes are surprisingly way more referenced, or at least this time is, in future episodes going on ahead.
Interesting.
Yeah.
For most of it, honestly, I feel like there's more. I don't know. It's like I feel like it goes pretty quickly over like the new characters, right? You know,
Yeah.
it like does that kind of like recap, like that My Hero Academia does, of
Oh,
like,
very much so. At the beginning of episode 4, they straight up do that. I was actually going to mention that in a different conversation, but yes, 100%.
yeah. Um, so I'd probably say that the the one that's sticking out to me right now is um Arwen.
Really,
Uh, yeah, because
Armin?
of the fact that he's like the fact that like, oh, he's the kid with the smarts, but you can definitely see that he's determined to not just be that stereotype
Yeah, no, for
that
sure.
everyone puts him in. Yeah.
Yeah, the beginning of episode 4 where you see Reiner kind of try and like pick up his bags and that stereotypical "I got you, bro," military hard boot
Just
camp
focus
training.
on getting through. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, "No, no, no, I've got this. I can do this."
Yeah.
Yeah, he never wants to be a burden, and I think that's a huge part of Armin's character because there's a lot of references to another character we're going to get later that is very important, and the differences between him versus Armin and why Armin might be a better choice for the future going forward. This is a lot of spoilery territory here, so I won't go in depth, but let's just say that this is very important for his character, 100%.
All right.
Yeah. Was there anyone else that you kind of picked up on and liked from the new cast of characters? I mean, obviously you talked about Sasha real quick because
Sasha.
she's
Yeah.
amazing.
I love the fact I love the fact that she's so just like, she's like, food. Yeah, like that's my priority.
Right.
And like
Gotcha.
like after she does that run, um and the I can't remember her name, but the girl like who brings her like water and bread, she's just like, you are a literal goddess.
That would be Krista. And
Okay.
yes, again, there's something about all of these character introductions that is going to stick with you so much throughout the series. Like I watch these with a different lens watching it the second time because, or actually I think this might be the third, but whatever. You know, when you watch it first out, you're like, oh, okay, these are people, hanging out. We're just getting introduced to them, whatever. It'll be let go of. No, no, no. This show never lets go of previous things that happened, for better and for worse, because sometimes it's almost too self referential, but the majority of the time it works. And for these character introductions, especially, it's very important for
Hmm.
understanding motivations and looking at individuals versus ideologies.
Hmm.
So, yeah, that's going to be important later. And glad you picked up on the Krista thing there. That is very much referenced in her character. Krista's like a goddess, yeah.
Yeah.
So cool, cool, cool. What did you think of all of the cuts and zoom ins when something happens and it gets insanely over dramatized? Something that we've talked about in the past, especially over real trivial things like not falling over or Jean feeling rejected from Mikasa. What did you think of that?
Um, this time around, I feel like,
Oh, it worked?
yeah, because a lot of it was more, well, except for like the I didn't necessarily like the whole like, oh, I've been betrayed, blah 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 blah.
Which one was that one?
When the guy is um trying to win over, oh, I can't remember her name right now. Aaron's kind
Mikasa.
of sister. Yeah,
Mikasa. Yeah.
yeah.
Jean?
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, that whole thing. I wasn't that much a fan, but like the but the brevity, that when they use it for brevity, um, like for instance, the close-ups between the ranking officer and Sasha.
Yeah.
Like
Oh my
that
God. All
is
of that was
that is the
gold.
funniest shit.
Yeah.
Like and like just like seeing his fucking sunken eyes and him being like, "You want to give me a potato?"
Give me a potato. There was like this moment too where they were inside of, like, my favorite personal moment of that was they were inside of the mess hall after Jean and fucking Aaron were having this like super way too personal debate on like the realities of life within the walls and everything. And then they make a scene and everybody's like, and then the commander comes out and he's like, one eye out of the door. What's going on in here? Like all creepily. And then Mikasa, Sasha, pass gas, sir. And it's like, and then her face, like,
Yeah.
just that blank Sasha stare, because it goes from like, like, I don't know what it is, but they somehow managed to do gold with Sasha's character. And despite the harsh realities of life going forward in this series, Sasha will continue that.
Mm, that's
Which
good.
is
Because
amazing.
yeah, I feel like the brevity was very needed in these two episodes.
It'll
Um,
be hard to find going forward. But the moments where they do that, yeah, for sure, they stick out all the better.
yeah, because um, yeah, these two episodes, I didn't feel a necessarily like over dramatization
Yeah,
of things, which was
which is
nice.
hilarious because it's so purposeful, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Um, but I did want to point out um the conversation between Aaron and I can't remember her name, but the
her,
blonde-haired girl.
Krista.
I
Or oh,
think.
no. That was, oh wow, why am I forgetting her name? She's a huge character going forward. Oh man, this is gonna kill me. It's gonna come to me later, and I'm gonna hate it. But yes, the one that teaches him how to do that awesome fucking move.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, Annie. There it is.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I love what she says to him because it's like a moment for him to like Aaron. You can definitely tell is still in that like blah blah blah. I'm in over my head kind of mentality.
You know
Um.
what? Let's go into that because
Oh, okay.
my fifth question was actually about that. The conversation with Annie about the nature of things, fighting against it, right? That is so crazy important going forward.
Oh
You have
yeah.
no idea yet. You literally have no idea. And I'm excited for when that moment happens because it is very important for not only other characters' motivation, but especially Aaron's motivation and like how he processes dramatic things going forward.
Okay.
Is it worth that fight? Is it worth it to be so stubborn against the grain just to say spite you all?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think it is?
Well, uh, no.
Elaborate.
Well, because it's kind of is kind of like what I was saying last week
Yeah.
um with his mentality. Um it's like um why did the punk movement, the 70s not gain enough, m- momentum going into the 21st century? um, and a lot of that has to do with the constant mentality um, of people using punk as a way to like get out like anger and frustrations, but then having it be sort of superseded a lot of times by neo Nazis. Like taking
Blind
advantage,
rage,
yeah,
right?
taking advantage of that rage, and and not having enough reason to back that up, you know? Um and that's where Aaron's character definitely feels like he is, where it's like he has a lot of rage, and um his I'd say his motivations are um valid, but the fact that he has all this determination and rage and anger going
Getting targeted.
forward with him, yeah, it doesn't become um it doesn't have enough momentum for it to keep being something that is a driving force. There's no reason behind it, which is a lot, like I said before, with Armin. um that's the dichotomy between the two, is the fact that you can see that Armin is determined, and when he realizes that he's the weak link, he wants to step up.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I'm very excited to see you experience things related to that in the future. And I think, that goes for the whole cast of characters too, Connie, um, Ymir, all of them,
Mhm.
everybody, Reiner, Berthold, like all of them, they all have ties back to this original moment, Krista, that are going to pay off in dividends later um, for them. Uh, and it'll make things all the more harrowing going forward as well. So very excited to see your reactions when we get to those parts. My other question is kind of going back on another thing you were talking about, which was that My Hero Academia feel, especially in the beginning of episode 4. We're literally like, Reiner Bluthel, or Reiner, stubborn as an
Yeah.
ox, or with the strength of an ox, but, like the mentality of one too, kind of like straightforward brute.
Mhm.
Talking about Armin again, like you mentioned. Did you pick up on that My Hero Academia feel a little too hard on that? Was it
Oh,
a little bit too obvious?
absolutely. I
Okay.
mean, well, this first season came out before My Hero Academia, didn't it?
So true. So you begin to wonder, it's
Yeah.
like, well, did My Hero really kind of rip off of this idea and just repeat it endlessly for its for its series, but then somehow did it so much better. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I think it doesn't feel as effective as My Hero Academia in this.
Yeah.
I do wish that we got some time to actually spend with those characters, that it like kind of like rushes through.
Hmm.
Um, but I can also understand, wanting to move the plot along. Um, and I'm sure there'll be more focus on those characters going forward.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
100%. 100%. So that'll be interesting. I think it is important for later on, but at the same time, yeah, so obvious. So obvious.
Hmm.
Rewatching it too, it's like, okay, we get it.
Yeah.
Uh, Finally, I just wanted to talk about the reveal of the Colossal Titan. How did you think cinematically that worked? I thought watching it back again, it was really, really good. There's something about the way that My Hero Academia does snap moments that are just so perfect. So talk about that a little bit. Do you like that, like, kind of like, yeah, everything's golden, stealing from the officer's pantry, back to reality?
Yeah, like the fact that they're like getting they're getting a little cocky. They've realized, oh yeah, it's been 5 years since we
We
had
got
another Titan.
cannons.
Yeah, yeah. um and like they're like, yeah, we're companions, we're through the long haul. And then it's just like Titan, like literally appears out of nowhere. And just this kind of like apparition, you know
And
that
was that weird to you how that apparition came about? Like, wait a minute, Do you like Titans like
Teleport?
teleport?
um I yeah, I
Is that a little
I
weird?
like the I like the sense of mystery
Yeah.
that's behind it, like the fact that the fact that and like the way that they talk about it previously too, the fact that it's oh, we've learned so much since 5 years ago, like we've learned more about the Titans. We've learned more about um how like their weaknesses and how to like defend against them. Like it's cool that it kind of implements this idea that it's like they're making scientific discoveries and like that's how they progress.
But they still have so much to learn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Perfect.
and
Perfect.
and the fact that like it just like literally appears right in front of Aaron, just like, hey, what's up? I'm gonna eat
Hi.
you.
Hi.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So moving on to part 3, unless you had anything more to add, Ransom. No?
No, that's it.
All right. Part 3 would be worthy watcher reviews. I know a few of you have already contacted me for reviews, but you got to get them out by Saturday to me so I can get them ready for the podcast today. So please do leave your reviews here so I can add them to it. Email or on Twitter or Facebook. We'll definitely feature a few that are like fucking awesome. And shout out to Jean-Luc. Thank you for joining me in this escapade. Excited to watch. We're excited to watch this with you. So, and for everyone else out there too. So join in, get on the conversation.
Please.
Part 4. We been time. I want to like make like a little jingle like we been time, we
I'll
been
work on it.
time, we been time. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll work on it.
Okay. Cool. That'll be great. I can't wait to add that in. So this is where we kind of talk, of course, about a few like little silly things that are animeisms that everyone attaches onto. And I ask Ransom for his favorite picks from a few of the following discussions. I have added 2 this week because I thought they were kind of important. Um, Last week, your favorite scene so far was when Hans did that double take when he thinks he can take down the Titans and then
Yeah.
realizes the sheer terror of the situation, right? And then the eyes between the two, Titan and Hans, especially. You really like that. So I was going to ask if that has changed this week or if that's still carrying over as your favorite moment so far.
Um uh
I got to
I don't
ask you
know.
these hard hitting questions, Ransom. These are so hard.
Yeah. I do like the fact that he comes back
For a little
and
brief recap, like, hey, what's up, kid? Don't be an idiot.
yeah. Well, and like the exchange between them where he's like, hey man, I know this seems out of the blue, but
I still feel that.
yeah, the death of your mother still haunts me to this day. Like really showing that he really has this human, like like even though this was the guy who was like, I'm a soldier, blah blah blah,
He's
like
not this random dude.
yeah, yeah, the fact that he actually seems to want to have like a consistency to his character, um and want to do the best that he can, um and like sometimes the best you can never feels like it's good enough, but it's the fact that you did the most out of terrible situations.
Yeah.
um and I like that.
Yeah.
So I think that like that added part to
To
the
it.
yeah
But it didn't change that it was your favorite scene still far.
I don't know, like I definitely have like
You got to give me a line in the sand here, Ransom. I'm asking you
Yeah,
hard-hitting questions.
yeah. I do like the underdog feel of Armin. I
Is there a
really
scene that
do.
encapsulates that?
The training
The training.
when he's last behind and he's like trying to carry his weight and the guy's like hey, I got this for you, no
Training
worries, and he's
scene with
like
Reiner.
yeah,
Okay.
and then he's like nah, I fucking got this, and he like pushes past people. I'm like, hell yeah, I feel that.
Okay. So I'm going to say training scene with Reiner inside of the ring where he proves he isn't a burden
Yeah.
just because he is more of a thinker.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. The person you wanted to hang out with the most from last week was Mikasa. Has that changed? You still want to hang out with Mikasa, or you want to hang out with Sasha? Yeah,
I want to hang out with Sasha.
Sasha. There we go. I fucking knew it. Fucking knew you'd love Sasha. All right, perfect. You don't even need to explain that one. We already went into it.
Yeah.
The class idiot right now. Last week it was Aaron. Are you feeling it still, Aaron?
Like,
It's
kind of.
okay. No,
Yeah.
it's literally okay. It's kind of a running gag, but I wanted to see if you still thought that way.
Well, it's weird because like class idiot, as in like ideology, yes. Class idiot as far as behavior, I think that is Sasha.
Oh, okay. You're looking at it in
Because,
a different way. I would say Sasha's
but
Sasha just likes eating, right? She just
yeah,
likes
yeah,
eating
yeah.
and being fun. I still think Aaron has like the worst moment to moment decision making, like
Yeah.
100%.
I think he's the class idiot. I would say Sasha's like the class clown. Yeah.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
it. Okay, so same. Boom. All right. New. I am adding in something here, and this may not always be applicable to all of the situations that we're about to encounter, but I do think it is important. And the ending of episode 4 reminded me of this because there are so many amazing rallying cry pep talks going forward in this series. Like, you know, those movies where like the commander's like out, you know, in the fucking trenches, like, we're gonna go and we're just gonna fucking go for it, right?
Never give up. Never surrender.
100%. Those pep talks, I want to ask you what your best pep talk is going forward. Was there one for you in this? I think Aaron's is kind of filling that void, but was there another one in one of the episodes that could kind of fill in for that?
Yeah, I'd say it's funny because like Aaron's is like, yeah, like
This
blah
is
blah
it.
blah.
This is the
Yeah.
moment where we fucking kill them.
But like at the same time, like it's still in my head the fact that like, oh my god, this guy is just like, he's so like,
Brash.
yeah, head in the clouds, you know, so like so determined without any kind of like plan B. So I think the thing that stands out to me is the moment where like you where he even like accepts that like, oh shit, um the conversation between him and Annie. I think that is kind of a pep talk. um
Interesting.
yeah, because it's like they definitely do frame Aaron as this sort of leader, um even though he's like not the best out of them. He like that kind of determination is like a driving force for them.
You know, I totally hear you. Sorry if I'm segueing away from it here, but yeah, the conversation with Andy, I do think about that now. And while I think of pep talks as sometimes rallying cries, you're right. Pep talks can also be conversations about the reality of the world in which you live in. You're
Yeah,
totally right, and I get that. I get that. So yeah, we'll say conversation with Annie about the talk about the reality of the world. When we reference back on future episodes, I'm actually going to grab the quote from that because I think it's fun to remember quotes,
yeah,
especially going forward. So I will do
yeah.
that. I'm also adding another new one. Best Titan fight. This can be this can be multiple of types of fights, as you'll see going forward in the series, but suffice it to say, a fight with a Titan involved. What is the best Titan fight so far? You don't have much to choose from here since it's been mainly wanton slaughter. So if that's something we want to think about for a future episode, that's fine if one doesn't fill in here.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll wait. We'll wait for this arc. We'll waiting. So I just want to put that in there so you know of it going forward because, you're going to get some fights. Cool. The most disturbing Titan so far. Last week, it was the Smiling Titan. Has that changed?
No.
Okay, got you. And that's it. That's it for now. But we're gonna continue modding out Weebin Time as applicable. If you can think of more things to add there, Ransom, let me know, and I'll add them. And same with you, audience. Let us know if you have some Weebin moments that you want to talk about, things that attach you to the series that you love. For anime, it's so important. So definitely shout us out on that.
Mm-hmm.
Ransom, I do think that about wraps up our discussion this week on episode 3 and 4. This was just kind of like a fun little arc. Humanity's comeback is just kind of like gearing up for the future. But the conversation, it's not over yet. That's right. Next week, we will continue our journey on Attack on Titan with a insane arc. I think one of the longest in the series, at least in terms of a straight battle, which is called The Struggle for Trost. This is season 1, episodes 5 through 13. So you're gonna have some homework this week, Ransom and audience out there, because you're gonna have a lot to watch. But it's important because there's a lot that happens in this moment going forward. So remember to watch those with us this coming week. And again, leave your opinions on that arc over on our Facebook or Twitter at Worthy Watchers, or email Gmail, worthywatchers@gmail.com, and let us know your thoughts, because we would love to get them by Saturday, October 24th. I'm going to keep reminding you of those dates going forward, because I would really love you guys to input in with us so we can feature your comments in that third segment. So be sure to leave a like on the episode, share if you can. More reviews, always the better, as it gets us out to more anime fans out there, more weebs. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, Ransom, for joining me this week, of course.
Absolutely.
And we will see you next week on another Worthy Watchers Week.